We're Trent Allie, and now that it's 15 degrees outside, we thought it was probably time to install our furnace.
We've cut off all personal connections with the candle.
We have no idea what we're doing, so we brought in professional help.
Just know there's gonna be a lot of butt crack in these videos.
We're cutting holes all over the place.
It really can solve it all!
And answering your burning question about bedrooms.
You can't stand up all the way, but Harry Potter didn't need it, so.
Yeah, you can sleep in there, that's for sure.
Because that's all you need.
Subscribe and come along today
Ah, my hand!
as we get one step closer to our big 4-way inspection.
We're gonna finish making some connections right here, and then hopefully we're gonna be able to fire up the furnace today. What's up and good morning, guys. Today we have a special treat. If you guys remember, it's probably been a couple of weeks ago, our friend Dean, Uncool Dean, or the Schoolie, he actually came by and looked at our house and helped us get a more accurate manual J and manual D, and he actually sized our house for a proper furnace. And today, he's coming out here, he's bringing all the supplies. We actually have to pick him up at the bottom of the mountain because his truck would have some trouble making it up to our house. But we're gonna go and pick him up, and we're actually gonna bring all that stuff up, and we're gonna start installing the HVAC system today.
To get away. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to
So we're just getting a nice little fire going so that it's actually nice and warm when the HVAC guy gets here. I mean, he's the heating guy, but we want to make it like, you know, warm and comfortable for him. Dean is such a nice person. He actually had to stop and fix his friend's furnace this morning on his way up here. So I would say probably within like the next hour, we're going to be meeting him at the bottom. We're gonna be loading up everything into our truck and driving up here and getting to work. I'm really excited because HVAC is probably something that I know the least about, and I'm really excited to learn.
Are you excited to see how long it'll take a professional versus how long we can do stuff like this?
Yeah, if we just bought a furnace and like tried to install the ducting and do everything, it would probably take a month. And
Yeah.
like, this is probably gonna take Dean like 2 or 3 days, so I'm happy about that.
Good morning. Sweet.
That's why I brought that.
We got your favorite cookies just for you.
Yeah.
You want
Oh,
those?
don't worry, I brought chocolate chip cookies.
You didn't want to try my cookies, huh?
We could use a furnace instead of using the candle.
Let's face it, the candle, not a great source of heat.
And down in the basement, it like just makes it like, I think there's just enough carbon monoxide that you're like, oh, I'm warm. It's like, no, you're dying is what that is. It's here now.
There's no fingerprints on it.
This looks like a little racetrack for like little remote control cars or something. Could we do like a circle all the way around?
For all the rats.
Oh!
We just made a hole in the side.
It's a rat racetrack. So Dean's been here for 5 minutes and he's already pretty confident on where these holes need to go. That's the difference between being a professional and being me or Brandon or somebody that doesn't know what you're doing, is you sit and stare at things and try to make decisions for like an hour. Dean's like, all right, this is where the holes need to go. He's just marking out.
Did
He's
you
like,
get a
cut
plumber
that,
professional?
cut that. Hey, we've had to do some remodeling of our plumbing system, obviously. But so we're gonna start cutting out these holes, and that's where basically the floor registers are gonna go on the main level. Let's get to work.
Just know there's gonna be a lot of butt crack in these videos. Here, get your blur button ready.
Not a plumber, but.
Things are happening really quickly, which is such a nice change of pace for us. It's pretty warm in here. We have the fire raging. These guys are cutting out holes in the house. They're installing floor registers. We're about to start connecting ducting. It's moving really fast. Maybe by the end of the day, we'll even be able to turn on our furnace.
Doesn't have to be exact. You can want it straight down or pretty much, but no, like how I have it.
It is really convenient because thus far I've been like the guy making all the decisions and like doing all the guesswork, and now we have Dean to make all the decisions and do all the guesswork. Really nice, and I'm really happy to be able to take the back seat and just kind of help.
I've been all around the world, every city, every place. Always been a restless girl, but now there's a wind of change. I've never ever felt this way. Longing for you, pick up the phone, catching a flight, I'm coming home, back to the place I've always known. Home. Saying this soon, I gotta run. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
The only problem we're running into is this house is so well built that the floors are glued and screwed onto the joists. So it's very difficult to cut this one last register out because it's really stuck in place.
Isn't that so nice of Allie to say that it's so well built? What a sweetheart. When you build your own house, you basically, you construct everything from the base up, and then as you get to do these other like parts of the work, you have to cut out things that you already built. And it's like so frustrating because a lot of the things you took so much time and effort to make sure it's like perfect, and then you just have to like destroy it. But like when you're, in one of the trades, you just show up, and like when you're doing plumbing, you're just cutting apart all the stuff the framers put in, but you have like no emotional attachment to it because it's just like these framers that put it in, and you just get to cut it apart. But like when you do everything yourself, it hits different, Not an approved way to cut a board.
We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, moon. I reach through mysterious ceilings. My only hope.
It really can solve it all.
I look for the things I don't know.
Dean. Yes, sir. You wearing your headphones?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Did you just put your shoes on your hands or what? How'd you do that?
I watched it.
I'm like a bat. You're the real Batman.
How much fun is it having us just watch you? Just watch you brainstorm.
Well, when you're confident in something, you're not worried about who watches. I'm not confident. So try to get it sliding that bottom cleat first. Watch your fingers. And you gotta see how it goes. Ah, my hand.
The purpose of wearing gloves is so that you don't damage your fingers. So these are basically just sweat boxes that aren't even helping anything because that's the finger I use the most.
Meanwhile, I'm just holding this duct up for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, how heavy is that?
Hey Dean, welcome to filming a
Not
video
heavy at
of
all.
the Trent Allie build.
Yeah, I've never filmed a video. 3, 2.
On honestly, every trade is really fun to do once.
There
Ruining
goes
my
our-
furnace.
Our brand new furnace.
Put holes in it.
If we were doing this ourselves, I would be extremely confused because the way that the furnace is designed, you're supposed to actually cut the hole in the side of the furnace so that you can put the air filter in where the air is coming in or out. I'm actually not even sure, but Dean knows what he's doing. He's cutting apart our brand new furnace, and we're not questioning him. There goes our new furnace. Okay, it's starting to look like maybe he knows what he's doing.
Hi.
Oh, hey. What is that?
All right, so now we're actually getting the gas hooked up. We're about to do the electrical. We got some of the ducting done, but what we're actually trying to do now is we've cut off all personal connections with the candle. The candle is a thing of the past. It's not gonna be warming up the basement anymore. But this furnace, even not completely connected to all the ducts, we're gonna be able to run the furnace in the basement, which is actually plumbed to have the exhaust go out of the building, unlike the candle. And so it's actually gonna be safer, it's more powerful, it's probably more efficient. We're gonna finish making some connections right here, and then hopefully we're gonna be able to fire up the furnace today.
Our first electrical hole.
This is where our thermostat's gonna go.
Really good.
Killed another avatar, man.
We're getting really good at this, you guys.
This time it was Dean. It was Dean's glue, and Dean knocked it over, so don't look at me and Brandon.
Hadn't spilled in so long. Man. Got too excited about doing this furnace stuff.
Wait, Trent. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ah!
If it goes where I'm worried, I can just flip off the switch right here.
Oh, spark hot, bro.
It's not that bad.
Ooh.
Actually looks good. I need it a little higher though.
What do you feel?
Warm.
Nice.
Hands in, everybody.
Yeah.
Ready, break.
Oh, so nice. The stove is awesome, and I'm still going to be building a fire pretty much every day, but it is really nice to know we can just kick on the thermostat and have the furnace heat up the basement. It's going to be really nice to work down here tomorrow with a nice big warming device. This is 10,000 times better than the candle. I'm super excited.
Thank you, Dean.
I agree.
Dude, what a day.
I know.
We have reached a huge milestone, not just by having the furnace installed, but the furnace is we hot-wired it.
Yeah,
and
it's working.
Actually working and producing heat in the basement. It is time for a celebration. And I am going to be celebrating with JuneShine. And JuneShine is the sponsor of today's video.
JuneShine Hard Kombucha is delicious. It's refreshing, easy on the gut, gluten-free, and full of probiotics. It's sustainably produced, made with real ingredients, and naturally fermented with green tea and honey for a smoother, less acidic taste.
They're non-GMO, they're gluten-free, and they're organic.
And now, JuneShine is delivering nationwide, right to your doorstep.
Probiotics are definitely something that I need in my life, and what's an easier way to get it than just having a nice, cold, refreshing JuneShine at the end of the day. So if you guys are looking for a great alternative to a beer or a seltzer that can help you kick back at the end of the day, but is also really good for your gut health, I highly recommend JuneShine. If you guys want to try them, you can click the link in our description and you actually get 20% off and free shipping when you try their best-selling 18-pack. Thanks again to JuneShine for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna kick back and relax, and we'll see you guys bright and early. Morning, guys. Welcome back to another day. Yesterday we got our furnace kind of like temporarily installed and set up so that we can use it. I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna build a fire, I'm gonna get the furnace going. We're gonna try and finish the interior walls in the basement. It might not sound exciting, but last time we did some interior walls in the basement, it absolutely transformed that space. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. I feel great. It's not snowing yet, but it's about to.
Yeah.
And it's about to snow for the next few days, I think.
You know, we live at the North Pole.
Let's go inside. Hey, look at how nice and organized it is in here. I moved some stuff around. I cleaned up a bunch yesterday. It's nice and big and open. And we're about to make another mess today. Don't worry. You're just using a map gas torch now?
We have this laying around and it takes about 5 seconds to get like the little kindling going.
Yeah.
It's that, or we just like, we don't use paper. It's 2021. Nobody has paper. And so I either have to like go buy a notebook or like old newspapers or a magazine to like start the fire every day, or I just give it like 5 seconds of map gas torch.
Be honest, you love using the map gas torch.
I'm always honest. But I do love using the map gas torch. The problem with our temporary furnace setup is the furnace is all plugged in and everything's ready to go downstairs. This is where the thermostat's gonna go, and the thermostat has 24 volts of direct current electricity going to one of these wires, and the other one is basically the return line. So if you touch both of these wires, it shocks you. It's only like 24 volts, it's not like super intense, but trying not to get shocked, I just need to make a connection here. I should be using these like chopsticks, but it's on. Yeah, it's on. All you gotta do is just have them having a little pressure against each other. You don't even need to twist it tight.
Do you hear that? That noise? That's our furnace!
Now obviously if we turned on the furnace and we let it run to maybe like 5 hours, it would probably heat the whole house because it's, you know, like 15 or 20 degrees in here, and the heat has to like heat the basement and come up here and heat upstairs, and like it takes a really long time. So like we're still gonna be building fires. Once the house is really well insulated, a small fire or the furnace for a short period of time will heat this house, no questions asked. But for right now, we basically need the furnace and the fireplace to get this place tolerable. And I'm fine with that. I like building fires in the morning, and it's convenient to be able to kick on the furnace before you even have to go downstairs. When we had the candle, you had to go down and like kick the candle on and then run back upstairs. Not anymore. Just touch these little wires together, and in 7 hours it'll be nice and warm down in the basement. We'll be ready to work.
A lot of you guys are wondering why we haven't insulated yet, and it's because insulation goes on after the plumbing and the electrical and the HVAC. We need access to the walls before we can insulate the walls, but you're right, we could insulate the exterior of the house, which is our plan in the future. The only reason we're not doing that now is because it's 15 degrees outside and we can barely stand to be inside the house, much less outside the house.
It seems probably less efficient, or like it's not going to be super well insulated, or it's just different from the way that a lot of different companies build their houses. But I think by the time we're done and you see our interior and our exterior insulation detail, everybody's going to be pretty surprised with how energy efficient and how well insulated this house is going to be.
Eventually.
Hey! Comfortable down here.
Wow. It feels like we're in a room of a house, not just in the dungeon of a medieval castle.
It seems like no matter what we do, everything we need to use is like in the way of what we're doing next.
Yeah, it's a little messy down here. Mostly that's in the way.
We have to move the wood pile at least like a foot away from the wall so that we can build that wall behind there. We've got the furnace. It's not absolutely freezing down here. We don't have to worry about dying from carbon monoxide poisoning from the candle because this is venting outside. So basically we are in awesome working conditions, and Allie's gonna help clean up. Brandon and I are gonna build the walls. And hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have a sort of half unfinished basement. Allie has done a great job of cleaning up a lot of the floor in here, and then also when we were framing upstairs and starting to do the windows and cutting and doing everything before the staircases were actually put in, we were just kind of like pushing all of our garbage into the stairwell, or let me say, Allie was pushing all of our garbage into the stairwell as if it was like your closet and no one was ever gonna see it. And so underneath the stairs is completely like entrenched with sawdust and cutoffs from thermal buck and pieces of scrap wood. So Allie's been spending the last probably hour trying to get all the stuff out from underneath the staircase. Now she's gonna vacuum under there, and we'll actually store like maybe the windows for the garage and maybe the foam that goes on the front of the house under there so that they have a nice safe place to stay. Hopefully by the time she's done with that, we'll be done with most of this wall, and then we'll be able to really reorganize this entire space, move the wood pile over just a smidgen, and get that wall done over there. We're making some serious progress down here. Like I said, by the end of the day, this basement is going to be absolutely transformed with these interior walls framed up. I'm really excited to get it done. How's that, being hunched over, working with your lower back all day, huh?
My back is killing me. But look at this.
Oh, Frank, it's your new home.
We have bedroom number 2.
Go get him. It's
You,
Frank's doghouse under the stairs.
This is where the triplets will live.
It looks really good, babe. Good job.
You can't stand up all the way, but Harry Potter didn't need it, so.
Yeah, you can sleep in there, that's for sure.
Because that's all you need.
All right, and we've got half of this wall framed up. Looks like now that we have the extension cord, we're gonna cut those pieces and get back to work.
Completely covered in sawdust. It's in my mouth, it's in my eyes, it's in my hair. But the firewood has been completely moved and restacked. I have no idea how stable it is. I honestly wouldn't go near it if I were you. But we can finally access the last wall that we need to frame, which is really the whole point of moving all the firewood in the first place.
Allie took the stack that was closest to the wall and piece by piece moved it around the front of the stack. It's not stable, but it will do. Basically, I have to put the bottom seal in here, the top cripples and the bottom cripples. Then we can mount the green plate at the bottom, the top plate at the top, and then put in like the maybe 10 studs that go in here across this distance. And we're done with interior. Well, we're not. Still got to do like a couple over there, but we're done with all the exterior interior walls. And then after we get like the water heater and the HRV and all the other components installed and stationary, we can frame out a wall to like make the utility room its own space. We have the top and the bottom plate up. All we need to do is put in about 7 or 8 more studs. And I do want to say, for the record, everyone doubted me. Everyone said, there's no way you'll be able to build the wall back there. There's no way that you'll be able to move one stack of this wood without the stack falling over. And I'm trying not to speak too soon because this could still fall over. But there's enough room back here just to get this wall built. And all we have to do is put the studs in and we're done. And I didn't want to have to move this entire stack, so I'm really happy this worked. Perfect. Yes! Finally done. Interior walls.
It looks so good. Look at this.
Dust pan is what we should call the basement now.
It is a dust pan for sure
I
down there.
literally feel like we are inside a vacuum bag. Just completely caked with dust, sawdust, dirt, wood shavings, everything. Wow, look at this.
Hey guys, good job.
We got windowsills, we got framed walls.
Looking like a basement.
It's
Yeah.
like pretty cleaned up in here besides this giant wood pile and all these scrap pieces of wood. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Hi.
Got that feeling in your arms and knees, the kind of feeling where you simply freeze. Don't you worry, let me throw you up, 'cause I think I know where you always stuck.
Okay, now I can talk. I had to eat something. Quick momentary pause there.
Now you're back to normal.
Back to normal now.
In case you guys didn't know, the hanger is excessively real with this one. She can go from 0 to 100 real quick. We had a pretty amazing day today. I feel like yesterday I felt like we didn't get much done, even though we got a lot done. But it's because Dean did most of it. If I'm not doing the work and making the progress, I feel like nothing's getting done. So that's kind of a curse and a blessing, I guess.
But
maybe.
the furnace has been working out so well that we had to turn it off this morning. It was,
Yeah, I was
unbelievable.
The basement was hot. I was
Yeah.
like, woo! I gotta take off my sweater. I gotta turn this furnace off. So
Yeah, it was
we
really
turned
cool.
off the furnace, and everybody was warm except for Brandon's toes were a little cold because he was standing outside. But then he came inside, and they were good after that.
Scary though, because we're making a lot of progress, which is awesome, and we're just getting closer and closer to this very intimidating 4-way inspection.
Don't get ahead of
which is
yourself.
cool.
We got a lot to do, but we got
Yeah.
most of the 4 things left to do,
That's true,
except for
that's
framing in order to do the 4-way.
Framing is
but,
fully done.
I mean, yeah, we still got to do some
mechanical
interior
wall.
walls.
Okay.
There's
Never
some
mind.
some roof hurricane ties that I need to put on. There's a little bit of stuff in every category. We have
But there's
we
no
have no
hurricanes in
electrical
Utah.
done. There's not, but you still have to have the ties for it just in case.
Interesting.
It's just so your roof doesn't blow off. But.
That's important.
Anyway, I'm actually terrified that electrical's coming up, and I'm trying to kind of scoot around
Bob
and
and
drag
weave.
it out so that I don't have to start the electrical because I'm really worried about it. But soon enough, that'll begin. In the next video, we're going to be hanging out with Dean some more, probably finishing the ducting and the furnace, and maybe starting water supply for plumbing. We're not sure yet.
Things are happening.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching our furnace get set up and us finishing the interior walls in the basement. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you show us by giving us a big thumbs up on the video. Consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already.
Thanks again to JuneShine for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in our description to check them out.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios.
Love will last, they'll stand the test of time. It'll stand the test of time. The test of time.